Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Steve here from Life, Liberty, and Adventures. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what we normally show, but recently I purchased a new Ram 1500 Rebel GT, and we brought it home from Louisiana. That was a long drive, but it was a lot of fun, and it was quite an adventure if you watch our videos. Today I'm going to do the first oil change on the engine and also collect an oil sample for analysis at Blackstone Labs. So typically I try to do a first oil change right around 1,000 miles, but considering the trip home from Louisiana was about 1,300, we're now getting to it. So the truck has right around 1,400 right now. So I'm using Pennzoil Ultra Platinum 0W20 because that's what the owner's manual recommends, and it also meets Chrysler spec MS-6395, and also I'm using the Mopar MO339 oil filter. Here's a little container for the oil sample that I'm going to collect while it's draining. So I've already taken it around the block for a few miles to warm everything up so everything drains nice and properly. So let's get to it. So as you can see quite clearly, the sway bar for the front axle, for the front end, is right below the drain plug. Damn engineers, what a pain in the ass. This ought to be fun. There's about 7 quarts that are going to come out of here. Hopefully I can catch some in this little bottle and don't make too much of a mess. There we go. Oh, of course, making a mess, but it's alright. I've got cardboard down. Yeah, damn engineers. What the hell were they thinking? From what I understand, the oil filter for the engine is also a royal pain in the ass to get off because it's four-wheel drive. So I've learned that there's a trick you can do with a gallon Ziploc bag to minimize the mess, so I'm going to try that. Okay, just so everyone can see this, the filter is right above the front axle. So I am definitely going to use that gallon Ziploc bag so I don't have a mess all over the axle. And I'm also going to drop this skid plate that's underneath the front axle too, just to give me a little bit more room. You can see that right here. 4 bolts in it, looks like. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Should come out fairly easily, quickly. set that aside. All the bolts Now if we do get drippage off of that filter, which most likely we will, see it there. It's got that stripe on it, and I also have a filter mag on that filter. We're going to cut the filter apart and take a look at that, see if we caught any particles on the inside of the filter can. But anyway, I'm going to start working on that. Here's the filter mag. It's just a interesting shaped, goes right around the filter housing, sticks fast to it, doesn't come off unless you pull it off. You really have to pull on it to get it off. I've used them for a long time on my vehicles. Yeah, these filters are tight from the factory. Get this bag in place. I have to say, of all the engines I've ever worked on and changed fluids in over my lifetime, this has got to be the worst placement of an oil filter I've ever seen. Alright. Wish me luck. This is the first bit of oil coming out. Hopefully it's all going in the filter, or in the bag. And it's still pretty hot. I do have a drain pan underneath this location, but I'm trying to minimize the mess with this Ziploc bag. Yeah, what a pain in the ass. Holy shit. Well, the filter is off, finally. That was kind of a pain in the ass. But I do see how the gallon Ziploc bag saved a whole lot of mess. There's a couple little drips in there. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, I'll clean that up and put the new filter on. And then the filter mag back on. Just a small pro tip for people that never changed their own engine oil before. If you have a filter that is installed vertically, meaning it's not oriented horizontal when it's on the engine, always pre-fill the filter with clean engine oil that you're going to put in it. Now I overfill this a little bit, but take a little bit, dab it around the gasket, make sure the gasket is lubed, and make sure the gasket from the old filter is off of the filter housing that's on the engine. You don't want to have two gaskets on there at one time because they'll blow out under pressure and you'll have a mess on your hands, if not an engine that is running without oil because it's all over the ground. Anyway, just a small pro tip there. Another pro tip I wanted to mention, if you've never changed your own engine oil before, do not over tighten the filter. There are actually instructions on the filter of how many turns. You can see there in the lower left pictogram it says +1. So you clean the surface, number one. Number two, you fill the filter. Number three, you screw it on by hand till the gasket touches. Number four, you give it plus another full turn after the gasket made contact. Number 5, you fill the engine back up with oil. Number 6, you check the level. It's all on the filter. There you can see the filter mag is back on the outside of the filter. It just sticks on. There's no right or wrong way to put it on, just as long as it's magnetically sticking onto the filter housing. That's it. Simple. Okay, I've got the filter cut open, and you're going to see this real time just like I am. Now remember, that filter mag was around the periphery of the can, so hopefully if there's any iron-based metal flakes in the engine, they will be on the side of the can. I had this filter mag installed by the dealer in Louisiana before I left the dealership to come back home. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a couple of stripes there. I'm going to get the light. Maybe that'll help. You can kind of see where the magnets were lined up there, so there is some benefit. Obviously there's not a lot of metal floating around this engine, but the filter mag does work. I'm going to keep using them, and that was about, so the filter mag went on at 24 miles, and right now it's 1410 miles. So I just noticed something that was interesting on this filter. You can see some discoloration, and that looks about the same area that the filter mag covers. So let me see if I can tear this filter media out, take a closer look, but you can definitely see there's a little bit of color variation there in that area. So I've got some of this cut apart. It's probably a better way, but this is pretty expedient. It's interesting, you can see the insides of a Mopar factory filter. You can definitely see some discoloration there on that section of filter media, which would tell me that it's, you know, filtering stuff right at the filter mag. It's very interesting. This is the first filter I've actually cut apart that I was using the filter mag. There's definitely some metal in there. Otherwise, why would it be discoloring the cardboard or the filter media? So there you can see the insides. Louvers are cut. It's not holes, so it's louvers. Appears to be louvers. Very interesting. Let's see if I can turn the light on that I was using. That might wash it out for the camera. So I'll send off the oil sample analysis to Blackstone, and I'll review the results when I get them back. Well folks, we're going to call that the end of this video. As you heard on the GoPro camera at startup, there was a little bit of valve train chatter, but that's normal for the first startup after an oil change. Just imagine how long that would have gone on if I would not have pre-filled the oil filter. So it's, when you change oil and the filter, it takes a while to fill that back up, the filter, if you don't pre-fill it. And those amount of seconds can add up over a lifetime and can cause some damage. So yeah, if you have a vertical filter, pre-fill it. You're gonna save yourself a world of pain later down the road. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And what do you think is going to be the first mod that I do to my Rebel GT? Comment down below, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.